This lecture is about the do's and don'ts in bench exam. And we are focusing the bench exam of Irish Dental Council for the exam which is going to be held in March 2026. So this is the last moment review, provided that you already know a lot about your preparations. So just what are the do's and don'ts? First of all, we will discuss about the class 2 conservative cavity for composite restoration. You would be making two cavities, one on the mesial side, the other one on the distal side, and sparing the oblique ridge. Do not terminate your preparation on the incline. Keep yourself in the fossa. That is important. To start, use 330 burr. It will give you exactly the depth you will require. So go with the punch cut and keep your burr always perpendicular to the occlusal surface. Your punch cut should be very clear and keep it mesially. Don't go towards the center so that you are not going to overextend your preparation. After this, and yes, keep in mind that it should be along the fissure over here, so that you can follow the fissure for rest of your preparation to make the occlusal box. After that, follow the fissure as I told you, but keep yourself away from the oblique ridge, and then prepare the dovetail as well. And don't overextend your preparation buccolingually, just in such a way that you would be able to see the walls and you would be able to see the floor. That's it, because it is conservative approach. All the time, keep your burr straight. Do not tilt buccally or lingually or mesially or distally, and don't push unnecessarily your burr towards the pulpal side, or you may make the ditches in the floor. For the mesial slot or for the proximal slot, always use size 245 burr, because it is exactly the size which you require for creating the depth of your mesial slot. While preparing it, again keep yourself within the tooth, and you can leave a very thin shell of enamel. Do not overextend in this area. Easily you would be able to remove this thin enamel later using your hand instrument. Now extend your box buccolingually, and do not do pushing unnecessarily towards this axial wall, towards the buccal side, towards the lingual side. Just very light pendulum type of movement or motion, and in such a way that your gingival floor is going to be quite smooth. There must not be any ditches over there. Well, you have to just clear the contact areas. That's it. Use your hand instrument to remove the enamel shell and then smoothen the enamel so that there must not be any lipping, any ledging. These are the areas where you are always prone to leave some ledges. And of course, make your this area, which is the edge of your gingival floor, is smooth as well. And also check if your uh, proximal slot it has adequate depth. Well, as I told you, there must not be any ledging, no any lipping. Also, try to smoothen the axiopulpal angle, line angle. This is the line angle. It should not be sharp like this. This is your prepared cavity. Again, check the depth of the uh, proximal slot and check the depth of your occlusal box as well. Check there must not be any unsupported enamel or ledging or lipping left over here. There, at times we make some kind of like hooks over here, so don't leave any hooks in these areas like the buccal side and the lingual side. That's it. Now, let's go for the all ceramic crown. Well, all ceramic crown, it has shoulder all around. The gingival margin is shoulder all around. We start with the incisal cutting. Do not over reduce this area. Go for the depth cutting marks. Keep yourself like up to 1.2 to 1.5 millimeter deep. Because when you will be doing your final finishing, then you will be definitely reducing some more and you would be able to reach the 2 millimeter required reduction. Keep on checking using your putty matrix. While reducing the incisal edge, keep the enamel shells. It will help you for two things. Firstly, you are not going to damage or nick the adjacent teeth. Secondly, when you will be doing the proximal reduction, you will get a guideline very easily that you have to keep your just burr straight in this area and just leaving the thin enamel along with it so that you are not going to damage the adjacent tooth, and then you will be just going through and through towards the from buccal side towards the lingual side. That's it. The buccal reduction should be done in two planes. It should be done in two planes. Well, that's how I was telling you, leaving the thin enamel on the side on the proximal area. This area is also tricky. Usually people they create lipping in this area or they gouge this area. A very deep reduction in this area, leaving very thin enamel at the edge of the gingival floor on the gingival side. So you have to be very careful in this area as well. Do not leave any sharp edges or any sharp angles. Always smoothen everything. The singular reduction preferably should be done using the football shaped burr. Keep on checking the reduction using your putty matrix and also smoothen the edges of the gingival floor as well using very smooth burr at a very slow speed. Well, once you are done with your preparation, you can go for polishing, you can do anything, but don't damage it. In the name of polishing, don't create like any streaks on it. Do not gouge the uh, enamel, this what do you call it, enamel or whatever, the surface of this tooth or the plastic actually in this case. Well, apart from doing the reduction, also check the clearance by closing the typodont. There should be adequate clearance as well. If there is no adequate clearance, then your preparation is going to be failed. And never leave, as I told you, any sharp edges. Good luck for your exam, and inshallah, we will hear some good news from all of you. Thank you very much.